Hi, boys and girls. Mrs. Hanson here. So, this one should be the last paper you have in your packet besides the sight word cards that I sent home. So, this one is create an adventure. And we are going to create an adventure using nouns, verbs, and adjectives. And we don't even know what an adjective is yet. So, I'm going to tell you what an adjective, and then you guys are going to come up with your own. So for this, it says write a new story for Peter Rabbit by filling in the spaces below. So I am going to make up my own story. And then using examples from my story, I want you to come up with your own story. Do you guys think that sounds good? All right. So first, at the very top, it says number 1, a type of place or a noun. Remember, a noun is a person, place, or thing. So we are going to make up a noun that's a place. So for Mrs. Hanson's story, I am going to use the noun city. So I'm going to write the word city. And remember, you're coming up with your totally own story. So just make sure it is a noun, which my noun is city. Then for the second one, it says action or a verb. So remember, a verb is something that you could do. It might be talking, sleeping, jumping, eating, something where you're moving or doing something. So for my action verb, I am going to skip, because I can skip. Skipping is something I can do, so that is a verb. And then now for my number 3, I have to do another action verb. So since Peter Rabbit is a bunny or a rabbit, what do rabbits or bunnies do? Right? They hop. So I am going to write the word hop because hopping is something that I could do that's an action or a verb. So I have number 1, city, 2, skip, 3, hop. Now my next one, it says number 4, animal, which is a noun. So for my animal, what do you guys think Mrs. Hanson's going to pick for their animal? Right now, I want you guys to take a second, tell who is ever watching the video with you what Mrs. Hanson's favoriteest animal is. And then I will tell you if you are right. It's a penguin. So I'm going to write penguin for my animal, but you guys can write whatever you guys want for your animal. So I have the word penguin for my animal, which is my noun. And then next it says size, adjective. So an adjective is a word that is used to describe a noun. So say we had girl. Girl is a person, right? So that would be our noun. So if we wanted to describe the little girl, we would need to use a word such as little. Little would be an adjective to describe the girl. So we have little, which is our adjective, and girl, which is our noun. So we know that our girl is little because the word little tells us that our girl is little. You can use other words besides size. You could do color, you could do shape, you could do texture, so something could be bumpy. You're describing it. So I could say my table is smooth. Smooth would be my adjective. So for number 5, we're just going to do size for our adjective. And I'm going to do the word tiny. So for size, we could have tiny, huge, big, large, small, itty bitty, something, some kind of word describing the size of something. So you could see that number 5 for my adjective, I did tiny. So then my very last one is another noun, and it's asking for a thing. So for my thing, I think I'm going to use the word rainbow. You know, Mrs. Hanson loves her rainbows. So that is going to be my noun, is rainbow. So I have all of my 6 words filled in so I can create my adventure. I have number 1, which is my noun for city. Number 2, my verb skip. Number 3, my verb hop. 4, my noun, which is an animal, penguin. Adjective for size, which I did tiny. And then my noun for thing, I'm doing rainbow. So now with those words, you're literally just going to use those words and fill in your story. So my number one word, which is city, I'm going to look at that first line and I am going to write my word city. Then I'm going to look down a little ways and there's another line below that that says number two. And I'm going to write my number two word in there, which is skip. Then I'm going to look for my next one, which is three, and I'm going to write my number three word, which is hop. Then I'm going to look for my number four. I found that one, so I'm going to write my number four word in there, which is my animal, which is penguin, Mrs. Hansen's favorite. And then I found five, which is my adjective, tiny. And I'm going to fill that in. And then my very last one, number six, I'm going to fill in my noun, which is a thing, which my word is a rainbow. So you can see now I have my story filled in. This is my story. So I want you guys to come up with your own story with your own nouns, verbs, and adjectives. Let me read you my story for my fun adventure. So my story says, in a small city, a playful rabbit named Peter lived with his family. They liked to munch on carrots and skip together. Peter loved his home, but was ready for adventure. He decided to hop to another town. Hey, that kind of works, doesn't it? Because bunnies hop. You can do anything you want, though, as long as it's a verb. Luckily, he met a penguin who wanted to join the adventure. Together, they traveled and saw a tiny rainbow. Aww. Wow. Peter couldn't wait to tell his friends all about his adventure. So, that is what you need to do. You need to fill in the top, fill in your words, and then I want to see what your fun adventure is all about. So let me know if you guys have any questions, and I hope you have fun with this. It doesn't even have to make sense. It can be kind of silly even. Mrs. Hansen's turned out not silly, but I want to see if you guys can come up with some silly sentences too. So fill in the top, fill in your story, and send it over to me. All right, you guys, have a great day. See you soon. Bye.